Hello, everyone. This is Coach Clayton, and this is a Women's Empowerment Interview episode. And today we have Opyemi. And hi, Opyemi.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi. And we have her here.
Hi, everyone.
She's going to discuss her personal and her professional journey and how she overcame obstacles. So let's just dive right in, Opyemi. Tell me a little bit about the obstacles that you had to overcome. I know that you had a bee farm and it was burglarized. Tell me about that.
Okay, ma'am. Hi, everyone. Once again, I'm Opyemi from Nigeria. I'm a bee farmer. I own a bee farm here in Nigeria, Ibadan to be precise. Okay, as regards the obstacle I faced, there was a time where I had security issues on my bee farm. It was actually boggled. I've been nursing that bee farm for close to like 3-4 years, and then it was time for me to harvest. And then I got to the farm and everything was burnt. My beehives were all gone, and I was like, oops. Though fine, we have security issues here in Nigeria, but I never expected, you've worked for some months and then you want to harvest and then you get there and everything is gone. So it was quite painful. It wasn't quite painful. It was very, very painful. But then I just had to pick up myself, encourage myself again. I met with some of my bee farmer friends. We all worked together and then we got the bee farm running again. So as at today, the bee farm is running. The bees are doing well. I'm harvesting bee products and the business is good. We're bouncing back.
I love it. Now tell me, how did you get into bee farming?
Okay, a colleague of mine where I work, because I'm a lecturer at the Polytechnic here, he introduced me into bee farming, and I just, okay, fine. I'm someone who loves to venture in so many things. Okay. So far, it improves the environment, it bioremediates the environment. So I just decided, okay, fine. The bees have many benefits to the environment. Why can't I just do this as a way of contributing to the environment? And also in this part where I stay, we have this issue with honey adulteration. And so I just want to contribute my own little quota, like, okay, if you need original honey, then I will provide that instead of going out to get adulterated honey that would eventually harm the body instead of benefiting. So that was how I got into the journey. A colleague of mine introduced me into it and I saw it as a viable venture. So
wow,
that's how I got into it.
I love it. So it's good for the environment, you said? What are some of the benefits? Tell us more about the benefits of the environment.
Okay, there is a research that says when you remove the bees, honeybees particularly, when you remove them from the surface of the earth, then I think in like 5 to 10 years, the earth will be no more, because the honeybees are the greatest pollinators. They pollinate our crops, so they help us with high yield of fruits, of food crops, even horticulture. They make our environment because they pollinate the flowers, thereby giving us lovely flowers. And then it was recently discovered during this COVID season that from your beehive you can actually get clean air. So some people who didn't have access to oxygen at the hospitals, that needed oxygen at the hospitals, who were affected with COVID, had to meet with beekeepers. So there was a way they passed pipes. Well, I've never tried that, but I saw the video.
Okay.
They passed pipes into beehives and then they inhaled clean air. So that's substituted for oxygen. So definitely, directly or indirectly, the bees also help us in cleaning the environment.
Ooh, that is so interesting. It is. It really is.
It is.
Are bees considered endangered right now? Or
Yes,
no?
they are endangered. Yes, they are endangered. Because one thing is when people hear about bees, the next thing is, whoo, I'm gonna be stung.
Yes, that's what I think.
I'm gonna be stung. So when
Yeah.
you see it, the next thing that comes to your instinct is just kill it. Don't
Yeah.
let it sting you, just kill it. So they are endangered. Yes.
Wow. Wow. I am so happy that we had a chance to chat about this because I didn't
I'm so glad
understand.
to. Oh, I'm so glad to be here too, ma'am.
Yes. So
So glad to be here.
what type of products do you make?
Okay. We have different products from the honeybees. We have honey, that's like the most popular, everyone
Okay.
knows. We have the bee wax,
Mm-hmm.
that's the wax you get from the honeycomb. You have the bee propolis, you have the bee venom, you have the bee pollen, you have the royal jelly. So
Okay.
those are the main products we have from honeybees.
So
But
you,
the researches are still going on to
yeah.
find out more products we can get from bees.
Wow. So bee venom, you said?
Yes.
Did you say bee venom?
Yes.
What is that?
Yes, I said
Tell
bee
us about
venom.
that.
Okay. Okay, bee venom is what we call epitherapy. Okay. It's when you use bees to sting humans, and they use that to cure mostly inflammatory diseases. When you talk of arthritis, you talk of bone weakness. And one thing is bee venom got it from bee stings. They help in boosting immunity. For example, down west here, we believe that once you get stung by bees, it boosts your immunity. So you might not actually get sick for like 3 to 6 months. And then you get another sting instead of just taking in drugs. So that's epitherapy. And then I think a research is also going on whereby they're working on using bee venom to cure cancer. I hope that comes out fine. That will be a real breakthrough. Yes.
Yeah, that
Yes.
this is amazing. Amazing to learn this. Thank you. Thank
You're
you. Thank
welcome,
you. Thank
ma'am.
you.
You're
So
welcome.
what if there's women out there that would like to start a bee farm? What advice would you give them?
Okay. Funnily, it doesn't cost much to
Okay.
start a bee farm. You can even start a bee farm, at your backyard. All you need to do is just attract the bees. They come into your compound. Once they are, we call it baiting, you bait the hives, you attract the bees, they come. If they find your hives, if they find your hive accommodating enough for them, they stay. And if they are not, how do I put it? If they are not troubled, if nothing triggers them, then they just stay there and you live your life, they live their life. So it doesn't really cost much. It doesn't really cost much, to start your own bee farm. All you need are a good environment filled with vegetation. You could plant them yourself, or you just get a place with good vegetations, good flowers filled with nectar.
Okay.
You place your hives there. You bait, the bees come, and that's all. Then, well, I don't know sorry, ma'am, for Nigeria here, you have to work on security. Just like I said at the beginning, my bee farm was boggled, so you have to find it probably to get a security to help you secure the place.
Okay.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
how do you not get stung if you're dealing with that? What is your secret?
That's a question I get asked almost all the time. Okay, what we put on bee suits.
Okay.
We put on bee suit. That's a covering. So you're covered from head to toe. So the bees can't sting you. So far your bee suit is not too tight, and then it doesn't have any hole through which the bees can penetrate. So you just go, you walk in the midst of them, they won't sting you. But then I have some bosses who go there without bee suits. I don't know how to do
it. Really? Oh no.
Wow. I don't know how to do it. I mean, you see them walking bare hands with bees. Wow. I can do that.
Wow. Wow. That is so interesting. Because when I saw that you had a bee farm, I'm like, how do you even start that? Okay. So you have to have good vegetation, flowers with a lot of nectar to attract them. Is that's the bait, right? Or
that's not the bait. That's not the bait. The flower and the nectar is for them to feed on, because the closer, you don't have to feed them. They get their food by themselves. So the closer their source of food, the more productive they are. But once they have to go quite a long distance for them to get food, then the less productive. That is why I said you need a good vegetation. If you have a good vegetation, then they just go visit your flowers, visit your plants, suck the nectar, and then come back into the hives to produce.
So what bait do you use to get them in there?
Okay. No, that's good. That's good. Okay. I know of two which I use. One thing is, normally anything that has this attractive scent will definitely attract bees. And that is why they said when you're going to where bees are, that you don't use perfume. Or you don't use soap to shower, you don't use cream, you just use water to shower, and then you go. So I use lemongrass oil, which has so much scent and so much flavor. I use lemongrass oil, and then I also use bee wax. The bees produce the bee wax. Okay. The bee wax is what they use in covering the honeycomb. After they've deposited honey into the honeycombs. So there is a way we extract the bee wax from the honeycomb, you get. So we also use the bee wax in attracting them. We melt the bee wax, and then you just put, from wax, where you melt wax, then you have something like oil. So you just put the oil on your beehives, and then the lemongrass. Then sometimes I mix them, the bee wax and the lemongrass oil, for baiting. Once you do that, if you bait well, then within 2 to 3 days, the bees will come. That is if you bait well.
Wow.
Yes.
I love that. Would you be willing to come back and actually show us your bee farm?
Oh, that would be great. I would love that. I would love that.
And then would you have like your products next to it to show us the different products that you make out of it too, and explain the benefits of it?
That would be fine.
Okay, nice. Okay, so it's gonna be. We'll definitely make that happen. I love that.
All right, man. I'll be glad to do that. I'll be glad to show you my bee farm.
Yes. So
by then you'll see me in my suits.
I would love it. We're gonna do it. We're definitely gonna make that happen.
All right, man.
So you also do organic bookkeeping?
Yes, organic beekeeping.
What's that?
Organic beekeeping. Okay. Organic beekeeping in the sense that you just make sure there are no harmful chemicals around.
Okay.
Because it is whatever the bees ingest that they use in making the bee products. So organic farming, the plants around you, make sure you don't use is it synthetic fertilizers, chemicals around. Everything we use is organic, everything natural. Natural. Yeah, so that's organic beekeeping. So far the chemicals are not introduced to the bees. The bees are not exposed to the synthetic chemicals. Yes. Okay. And then we also beg farmers who have farms around us. We try to educate them on not using these harmful chemicals, these harmful pesticides on their farm, because whether you like it or not, the bees will travel to other farms. They will travel to other farms, visit. So if those farms are filled with chemicals, then they will also bring the chemicals back into their hives. Okay. Yes. Okay. So we try to talk to people around us to not use harmful chemicals on their farms. Okay.
So how many bees do you need to make like one say 4 ounce of honey?
Okay, can I answer that? Because
Mhm.
there's this fact I'm trying to remember. I can't remember clearly, but one thing I know is in a hive, you could
Yeah.
find between 1,000 to 10,000 bees. Yes,
Wow.
in a hive. Yes, in a hive, you could find between 1,000 to 10,000 bees, depending on how strong your colony is. And each bee, aside the queen bee and the drone bee, they are all striving to make honey. Actually, the honey is not even for us. The honey is for the honey bees. They deposit
Oh,
them as food for later, when for seasons where they can't find nectar around. So
okay.
we just go there and get the honey.
Hmm.
But really the honey
Yeah.
is for the bees. So
Interesting.
all the bees in the hives, aside the queen bee
Hmm.
and the drones, they all produce honey. So I can't really ascertain how many bees it will take to make 4 ounces of honey. But I
Okay.
know if you have a strong eye, from
Hmm.
from a strong eye, you could get between let me say 5 to 20 liters of
Okay.
honey. Yes, you could get
Wow.
between 5 to 20 liters of honey if you have a strong hive.
Okay. Do you have how can we find you online? Do you have like a do you have a YouTube channel or do you have what how can we
No,
find you?
okay, I don't have a YouTube channel yet.
You
I'm still
should.
working on it.
This is like huge
Yeah,
what you're
sure.
doing.
Yes, I'm working on it.
Okay.
But even okay, I have a page on Facebook,
Okay.
Eblin Naturals. I have a group on Facebook, Eblin Naturals. That's the name of my company, Eblin,
Okay. Mhm.
Herberblyn, then Naturals.
Natural.
Though that page also is not, let me say, is it really functioning? I'm not really good with online things. I'm just trying to work on it. But now that you're
Okay.
challenging me, I'm gonna work on it.
Yes, this is huge. It really is. And
Yes, I work mostly
especially,
offline.
yeah, there's so many people that would be interested in it. Like just me, I'm like a bee farm. And then just speaking to
Oh,
you about the process and I think that that's very interesting. And that's something that I would even, like if you had like instructional videos or something, I would like want to have my own bee farm. I wouldn't mind like trying that.
okay. I
Yeah.
I have some I have some instruction. I have some instructional videos, but just like
Okay.
I said, I'm just keeping that till I start my YouTube page, which is going to
Okay.
come up pretty soon. So once I have the YouTube page, I upload them onto the YouTube page. And I'm also
Okay.
working on writing a book
Oh, you
on
should.
beekeeping, on starting your own on starting your own bee farm. On
Wow.
starting your own bee farm, especially for women. Especially for women.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
I
especially
love
for
it.
women.
I love it. Well, if you had one key advice that you would give to women if they wanted to actually start their bee farm, what would that be?
Just start.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
just start.
Just start.
Just start. It's going to benefit you, and most of all, it's going to benefit the environment. The
Yeah.
environment. I mean, climate change right now, everything is just going haywire. So we have to do things that will benefit the environment first. I mean, the environment gives a lot to us. So we have to
Yeah.
look for a way to give back to the environment. So no matter how little, just start. Even if it's with just an hive, just
Yeah.
start. Even
Okay.
if it's at your backyard. I mean, the bees we have here are aggressive bees. African bees are aggressive, but I
Okay.
heard those abroad, their bees are not aggressive as ours. So they do backyard beekeeping. In fact, I even
Okay.
heard some rare bees in their house and they don't
Wow.
get stung. So I would just say, just start. Even if it's just one hive, just start somewhere. And then it
Okay.
keeps growing from there.
Okay. All right. Well, it was so nice finally meeting you. And we are
Yes.
gonna hold you up to it. We are gonna follow up. so that you
All
can
right, ma'am.
actually show us your bee farm, and you could actually show
All
us
right,
some of the products that you make. Thank you,
all
thank
right,
you,
ma'am. I'll
thank
be
you.
glad to do that. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you
Okay.
so much for having me, ma'am. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank
Okay.
you.